If they only want to use it a couple of months of the year to keep some cushions dry, go to your local garden centre.
Yeah.
If it's something that you want to entertain in all, day, night, all year round, then that's the kind of, structure that we offer.
So, welcome to another episode of Paving the Way pod. This episode, you might notice a bit of a subtle difference in that there's only myself from RF here, and we've got a special guest, Danny Bowers from a company called Open Space Concepts. So, welcome, Danny.
Thank you very much.
And welcome to our podcast, which is just a general informal chat about various different things within our industry and what we're doing going forward and how different people see it. And we like to get, obviously, special guests on.
I love the word special. Thanks,
special.
mate.
No more special than yourself. But yeah, like I say, I'm sure you'll introduce your company and where you stand within our industry of landscaping and particularly outdoor living as such. So yeah, crack on, over to you if you want to give us a little bit of a background of yourself and the company.
Lovely intro. Yeah, so Open Space Concepts, the kind of name gives a little bit away, but we deal with sort of outdoor living. We've always been known for the luxury end of outdoor living structures.
Yeah.
Bespoke European products, as well as outdoor kitchens that we manufacture, which fit hand in hand. Something we've done for a good number of years now, supplying and fitting all over the UK. My role really within the business, as you know, is linking in with the likes of yourselves, garden designers, landscapers, architects, that feel that our product could work on a project that they're involved in.
Very good. And yeah, like you, I think you used the word sort of like, not particularly high end as such, but yeah, sort of like the more luxury end of the market as such. And I know you specifically say that that is your guys' kind of thing that you do, but you also do say that there's a bit of a market for every level on that, depending on what people actually want.
I think, the word luxury we brand around quite a lot, and it's because it's very, very difficult these days if we jump back 7-8 years ago with regards to outdoor structures, you could only buy luxury. You could only buy certain brands, and our life was a lot easier because people were looking at quality all the time. Mm-hmm. Now, like anything, things change. People jump on the bandwagon. Products are coming in from all over the world. Yeah. And it's difficult for clients to differentiate with clever videography and photography these days exactly what they're looking at, what they're buying. Mm-hmm. We've always, been at that level of, bespoke, European manufactured. Something we'll probably touch on later, but the showroom to back that up and how we work. So, yeah, it is important that we get that point across, that we know that there's an industry for lower level products, more DIY, but that's just not what we're about. No,
fair enough. No, and fitting the structures. Don't use that word, fitting them, not particularly, but fitting them into the outdoor space as such. We're all about as a company trying to sort of like say how we connect the outdoor to the indoor space, etc., things like that, and something like your structures, your kitchens and everything, massive part of this, especially, we're having a summer like we've not had for a long time, that's only getting more and more popular, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've always kind of been behind the Europeans when it comes to outdoor living, whether that's structures, kitchens. We've always been behind that curve in most things that go on. A few points, COVID, people spend a lot of time in gardens and sat around thinking, well, if this ever happens again, is my garden equipped? And if it happened now, I'm sure there's a lot of people that have got outdoor bars, this and that, so they can spend more time off the back of that. The weather, people are spending more times in the garden. I can only see that being the same. You've just touched on this summer's been incredible. And again, it gets people thinking, well, what if we had this? What if we had that? The wellness side of things now, outdoor outdoor pools, swim spas, outdoor kitchens. People are, I get the impression that people are not spending as much inside or even looking to move house now. They're thinking, well, what can we do to create that outdoor living space in the garden and invest on that side of things?
No, but that's what we're finding as well, is that, people are wanting to sort of improve what they've got, and this type of product, as well as getting your paving, your matching tiles, everything else like that to go out there, it almost like an extension of your house without having to have the expense of sort of like literally having an extension, the planning permission, everything else like that.
You're right, because it's funny you touch on that, because what happens with our product, with them being multi-climate systems, it's probably one of the only ones in the UK to the level of what we do where it can be used all year round.
Yeah.
And what you've just said there is, we'll say to clients, are you looking to make the inside of your home bigger? If so, that's an extension.
Yeah.
If you're looking at an outdoor living space where you've got enough room inside, but you want something that you can sit in all year round but feel like you're part of the garden, that's where our structure step, sort of come in, and the fact that they can be linked to the back of property. So if someone's been quoted, you know what it's like these days, crazy money for extension, but they look at our products and go, but hang on, we can go in it all year round, it can be on the back of the house, we can do what we wanted to do, that's where we come into play.
No, like that indeed, because like you say, the cost of products has gone up astronomically. You look at different sort of like things that we import, but the actual physical cost. You go to a builders merchants now, and I've got plenty of friends and customers who are obviously builders, but the costs of actually doing a renovation or something like that, or actually doing an extension, the materials cost has gone through the roof, and albeit, like you say, it's a luxury high-end product, it's more cost-effective often than not, if that's what kind of thing they're looking at. So, although you say, it's high-end and sort of like luxury, I think that it could be also deemed as a budget option to create that outside space while still having the best product.
Yeah, I mean, people, particularly you get clients that probably you get it that haven't done the garden up for 15, 20 years, and what they've got in mind with the cost of porcelain and getting it laid and everything else. Yeah. We get people come to us at the start of a project and they'll make it clear that they like what we do, they love the product, but they'll openly say, but we need a landscaper for this and that. And you kind of have to say to them, go and get your pricing for your landscaping and your basing this first, because it's probably going to work out a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
But if you see the value in everything, and some, at the end goal, whether it's done over different phases. But you're right, prices have gone up. But for us on the structures, it's making people understand straight away what they're about and what they want to use it for. If they only want to use it a couple of months of the year to keep some cushions dry, go to your local garden centre. Yeah. If it's something that you want to entertain in all, day, night, all year round, then that's the kind of structure that we offer.
Me and Amy talk massively about sort of like the costs of different things, and how mainly the cost is under the ground. Yeah. When you're talking about creating outdoor spaces as such, because you got foundations, this and that, and I should imagine like the quality of you guys as you're supplying that. One of your USPs is that you supply and fit, and you guarantee everything going from that. With whether that be, you could be pricing up against somebody who just supplies, but that fitting element for you again, it's a massive thing.
It is, and again, it's a completely different type of system. So they're all our own fitting teams. Yeah. You can't. I had a conversation the other week with a woman, and we were talking, and she went, well, your structure's a 3-4 day install. I can get one built in 2 or 3 hours. There's your answer. There's your answer. So, these systems that we use, whether it's a Belgian, Italian structure, German on the glass rooms, our fitting teams have got to be trained. You know, there's a lot more, it's a lot more complex than your normal build it together with a spanner kit kind of system. Yeah. So, that's a massive selling point for us, discussing the base with the landscaper or garden designer, working together with the team, going out and doing a survey. It's our fitting. It's massive. It's massive when it comes to what we do. Yeah,
and that, like I said, that literally does set you apart from somebody who might want to just literally go down to the garden centre, put one up, or do whatever. Two totally different products that you're talking about, and we talk on about industry standards within this podcast. It's a massive thing for us about we've got something that is construction based but is really not regulated. All of the products that we sell as a company are all regulated in itself. Everything that we sell has specific standards that it should be set to, but there's nobody policing that as well. So
no, you're right.
Having quality products is a massive thing for us.
It's a conversation, and it's probably just as frustrating for you seeing products that you know aren't at the level of what you do, and it's the same for us. And sometimes having to educate a customer as to, look, it's this price because of that reason. And sometimes even having these conversations with people, it's hard. It's very difficult. But imagine being able to know that, like yourself and the product that you supply and everything else, when you know you're there and you offer this, a 10-year warranty, and you've got your own fitting teams, and we're in control, and we've got a showroom, and that's normally enough value for it. And it baffles me now that people still go on the internet and they buy from a picture, but the reality is that's what happens.
It is, yeah.
And some people, they come back, they get bit.
Well, again, not to go back on everything that we talk about this all the time. We have customers that come to us who have had, should we say, bad experiences of things being fitted incorrectly, or not quite done to the standard that the product is. Sometimes they blame the product that we supply. Sometimes, more often than not, it is the installation that's the issue on various different things. Absolutely. As well as inferior products. Sometimes things happen, but raising standards to be able to get the landscaping industry to create these outdoor spaces is something that, as a company, one of the reasons why we set up this podcast is to sort of like try and give people awareness into that. There are different levels, and there's often a reason as to why those pricing levels, which is often more than often than not what it comes down to, and your products actually prove that.
Well, we won't just link in with, it's just as important for us to be working with the right partners, the right landscapers, garden designers, architects, building material suppliers, because, for the level of what we do, you're not going to be having someone spending so much on a structure but then settling for, we'll just get a landscaper to throw this down. It's got to come hand in hand, and I will also do my research. If I'm going to see someone, I'll have a look at what they do, the kind of projects they do, because it's important. It's important if we're going to be saying to people in a certain area, a lot of people put their trust in us. So if they're having a structure from us, they will ask us openly, well, do you recommend someone in that area?
Yeah.
So, whether they go down that route, we can only recommend. We can't say these are the guys to go with.
Yeah.
But we can say we've seen their work, it's up to you then. And it is important that, and I hear it from landscapers a lot where they've priced this and someone's coming at this and they've gone with it, and people think it's like a sales pitch. How many times people have to go back, or they've disappeared halfway through a job, or the tiles aren't what they picked, or it goes on and on and on. That goes from the base right through to to whatever they want in an outdoor space.
Yeah, it's that again. I think we'll come on to that a little bit later. Is the connectivity? We've gone through this connectivity from the inside to the outside space. That as a connectivity, but what we also say is like we connect people with people as well, and we love sort of like being able to sort of like give people the assurances that the people that we are going to put them in contact with will do the best of their ability. Like I say, we cannot guarantee people to work. No. We don't know individual jobs, but connected people is a massive thing for us. You're right, and it's sometimes we're very open to say if it's down to budget, we're not the right fit, and people might take that the wrong way, but it's true. If you've got a budget in mind, but you want this, you sometimes have to say, look, what you've got to be realistic here. Yeah,
you've got to be real, and it is difficult because some people don't know unless you talk to them. I could go and buy a car tomorrow. I'm not the person that knows about cars, and I don't know. And it's the same people coming to us until and you've had that good in-depth conversation. Yeah. We'll either openly say that's not the kind of product for us, or you're talking the right language. This is how we work. And it's difficult, but it is about getting those key points across.
That's a good point, actually. We do have people going. You assume that people know about paving.
You
You're
don't,
sure
yeah.
about that. You assume that people know that it should be laid in this, that, and where, whatever. But, you know, if somebody's coming in as a DIY project and, oh, well, I've done my sub base or whatever else like that. Like, how have you done your sub base and what joint compounds you use? Everything else like that. You just assume that people might know. So it's being able to sort of like, not teach your grandmother how to suck eggs with people, but just inform people on the rights and wrongs, and you know what if there's a better way of doing things, basically.
It's coming across, I always find, as you know what I'm like and I know what you're like. We're very down to earth people. We've got good products, good businesses behind us, but we are who we are. And sometimes, even if someone's not looking to go down the route of working with us, I'll be as open and say, look, just be careful.
Yeah,
we've seen this happen, and I don't want people putting the money towards something that they think, you know. And if I think there's a lot of names other than what we do that are at a good level, and we'll say, do you know what? That's a quality structure there. Yeah. This is good, but it's being able to say to people, you know, if it was my money I was spending, that's the way you've got to look at it, and just being honest and being open with people. And I think people really appreciate that conversation by saying, okay, it might not be for us, but I recommend going to speak to these then, because that is a quality system, and hopefully they'll listen to you.
Hopefully they will, and I'm sure they do from time to time. Go and sort of like make their own mistakes, but that's life, isn't it? That's what people do. We can't be in control of that.